Buckle in for a bountiful and boisterous broadcast of Juice TV. Yep, it's a bee theme. Bella and Jack catch up with Wild Call, who bring us their best bird buddies. And lizards. The Brisbane Bullets are on the ball as they bounce by for a game with Sebastien. And boredom is busted thanks to Caleb, who goes in search of Bambert's book of lost stories.
Hey guys, this is Declan in my room at the Lady Salento Hospital. Have a look at my view from my room. Let's just take in the view for a moment. Let's start off with something I've been really looking forward to and excited for. Quick questions.
Your host, 13-year-old Declan, loves doing stunts, hosting YouTube videos, and he's Indigenous and Torres Strait and proud of it.
My favourite hobby is to watch YouTube, to watch YouTubers play Overwatch so I can get some tips. My favourite movie is Thor Ragnarok. I went to saw it yesterday with Mum. It's so funny. My favourite part is when Thor goes to fight Hulk in the arena. My favourite character is Gorg because he's really funny. My favourite saying is whatever because it's been around for ages and I picked it up from my dad. I said it extra time, so whatever. The funniest moment was only yesterday. My mom pulled out a $20 note out of her chest because she felt a sharp pain in it. She pulled it out and she said, "I'm a magician. I'm better than any other magician you'll ever see." And I couldn't stop laughing. I had tears. I was laughing that hard. My proudest moment was starting my first YouTube video. I started with slideshows. Then I went into doing some vlogs. If I could have anybody come to my birthday party, it would be Jacksepticeye, because he inspired me to start YouTube and I just want to say thank you for inspiring me. He's an Irish YouTuber who does video games. The one I'm watching him play is Cuphead. My favorite song is Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars. My best dance move is the SpongeBob Shuffle. My best party trick is to dislocate my thumb back in, and I also have thumbs on my feet. Hello, my name's Timmy. What's your name? Hey. Let's start off the episode by going downstairs and meeting Jack and Bella.
Hi, I'm Jack.
And I'm Bella. And we're brother and sister. And we're at LCCH doing some bird spotting.
Pigeon, pigeon, pigeon.
Magpie, pigeon, crow.
Pigeon, pigeon, pigeon.
Yeah, it's usually not that exciting.
But today is very different.
There's some very special birds flying into the hospital, and bringing them along is Lauren from Wild Call. Lauren, who is our first guest?
So this is Lulu. And Lulu, do you know what she's called?
Tawny Frog.
Well done. She is a Tawny Frog now.
Where does Lulu come from?
So Lulu lives all around us in southeast Queensland. They're pretty common, but we don't usually see them. Do you know why?
Why?
Because they come out at night time while we're asleep. So they're nocturnal. Yep, well done.
When you feed Lulu, does she camouflage when you try and feed her?
Well, in the wild, that's what they would do. But because Lulu's actually my pet, she lives with me, she's pretty easy to find. And she knows when it's feed time, she gets excited, She usually flies over to me. As soon as I open the door to her cage, she comes and flies onto my arm because she knows what's coming. So Lulu's a bit different to a tawny frogmouth you might see out in the wild.
What do tawny frogmouths do to camouflage?
So have a look at her feathers. What do you think they look a little bit like? Yeah, they look like bark, don't they?
Yeah.
So when Lulu is in the tree in the daytime, she lies her body up against the trunk of the tree and she sucks her feathers flat. So she looks like a piece of bark, a piece of the tree. She shuts her yellow eyes and she can camouflage really well up against the tree so that other animals can't see her.
What does tawny frogs eat?
Well, they love these worms, so she's eating some wiggly mealworms, but they eat all kinds of insects. They eat, they eat frogs, they eat little lizards, but bugs is a main part of their diet, and that's why they like to come out at night time, because there's lots of bugs around.
What about cockroaches?
They love cockroaches.
Why do tawny frogmouths have the yellow colour inside of their mouths?
So if you think about at night time, when Lulu opens up her mouth, the bright yellow or the white colour looks a bit like a light. So when she's sitting in a tree, that bright yellow colour helps to attract lots of insects. So as a bug flies past, it tickles these little feathers on top of her beak. They're like little whiskers. And as they tickle the feathers, she opens up her mouth and she can catch the bug. So the colour helps her to attract insects. They think it's a light.
Lulu is not our owl. Romeo is. Why do you need the gloves on your hands?
Well, if you have a look at Romeo's claws,
They're my talons.
they're talons, good boy, and they're really powerful and really sharp. So different to the tawny frogmouth, these are really strong. So if I didn't have that glove on, his talons would be squeezing through my skin and hurting my hand. So I need to wear the glove to keep my hand protected.
What type of owl is Romeo?
So Romeo's called a barn owl. So he is a type of bird of prey, like an eagle. He's got those powerful talons, and that's what makes him different to other birds. He's got talons, so he would use those talons to catch his food.
How old is Romeo?
Romeo is 6 years old, but he's going to live for a lot longer. He can live for 20, 30 years. Yeah.
Do they keep other birds awake at night?
Well, other animals that are out at night time are usually fairly scared of a barn owl because they're a pretty good predator. So at night time when Romeo's out hunting, other birds that might be out at night time, like tawny frogmouths, would stay out of the way because they don't really interact with each other at night time. Romeo's kind of the boss of the environment at night because he's a really, really great predator.
How does he hunt for food?
That's a really, really good question. So Romeo uses a couple of things at night time to help him. So he can see really well, he can hear even better than he can see. He's got really good hearing, and he'll use his talons as well. So what he does as he's flying along, his special shaped feathers cut through the air. They slice through the air so he doesn't make any sound as he's flying. Then he'll hear something maybe down in the grass. He spots it with those big eyes and then he flies down and catches it with his talons.
Does he eat fish?
Some birds of prey eat fish. Birds that live near the water, like sea eagles, they would eat fish. Romeo's a bit different. He likes to catch rats and mice and other small mammals at night time.
One time I seen a rat.
Did you?
He can turn his head around massively.
He can, yep. So Romeo has a few extra muscles and bones in his neck, so we can turn from side to side, can't we? Yep. Romeo, as you saw, he can turn all the way around to the back. So that's because he uses that front part of his face to actually help him hear. So if he hears something, he'll turn his face, the sound hits his face, and these special feathers are all shaped to help funnel the sound right back to his ear. So if he does hear something, he turns his face, the sound hits his face, travels to his ear, and then he can find exactly where it is if he's looking down in the grass for some food.
know we're talking about birds, but Lauren has brought along some surprise visitors.
What type of lizards are these?
So you have Blaze. Now Blaze, he's a bit cheeky, isn't he? You want him on your head? Yeah, he can sit on your head.
No.
Okay, we'll start again.
This is stupid.
You sit nice and still.
What type of lizards are these?
So you've got Blaze on your head. Blaze is called a bearded dragon. So he's got these really cool spiky, scaly skin, and he's got floppy skin under his chin. So if Blaze gets scared, he'll puff that skin out into a big bubble. That's his beard, and that makes him look big and tough and scary to scare off any predators, any animals that might try and eat him. Dave, he's a little bit different. Dave's called a shingleback. Sometimes they get called two-headed lizards, bobtail lizards. Shingleback is his proper name, and he does have that tail that looks a little bit like a head, doesn't he?
Apart from Jack's head, where are these lizards found?
So we've got bearded dragons living all around us here. Blaze is a little bit different. He's actually a central bearded dragon, so he is from the Northern Territory. So he likes the desert where it's really hot. That's why he's got lots of orange and red colours in him. That helps him to camouflage when he's out in the desert. The bearded dragons we see around us here, they're more browny, greyish colours, and that helps them to camouflage in our environment down here.
What do they eat, Lauren?
So bearded dragons love to eat all kinds of bugs and insects. He loves worms, and he's got a sticky tongue, so he'll stick it out, catch the worm or the fly or whatever it is, and pull it back into his mouth. Blaze also loves to eat fruit and vegetables. He loves peas and corn. That's one of his favourites. He's very healthy. Dave's a little bit different. In the wild, he'll mostly eat plants, flowers as well, and sometimes, every now and then, we feed him a little rat or a mouse as well.
Would that be like their ice cream to
Like
us?
a bit of a treat. Yep, that's right.
The best part that I loved was meeting the barn owl. Romeo was so beautiful, and he was just, I don't know, mesmerising. I loved him, and obviously we couldn't pat him, otherwise he would go brown, which, like poop. But anyway, that was my favourite part. And Jack, what was your favourite part of the day?
My favourite part was feeding Blaze the wizard and putting on my head and my shirt.
Thanks to Lauren from Wild Call for making this hospital the best.
My name is Jack.
And I'm Bella.
How cool were those animals? I had a bearded dragon once. The previous owner, he had a drum set, and whenever he would play it, Mosh will bang his head up and down, so that's why they call him Mosh. Here's the second part of the episode. We're gonna come up with the Brisbane Bullets and shooting some hoops. How many hoops do you think the Brisbane Bullets shot? Like 16, 17? I used to play basketball for school sport, but I couldn't get a three-pointer. It was too hard. Kept missing it by a fraction. But I can get a two-pointer real easy. It takes a lot of practice.
Hi, I'm Sebastien. Do you need help on your game? I got you covered. These players are from the Brisbane Bullets. They're super tall and super skilled. Let's get to know them better. Hey boys, how do you get in basketball?
I started playing basketball because Daniel Kickett is a big hero of mine. He's a pretty oldest guy on the team, so I watched him play as a kid, and yeah, really inspired me to play basketball.
I just basically played because all my family played. I started playing when I was about your age. Wasn't that good, but worked at it, and now I'm here with the Brisbane Bullets.
What do you love about the games?
I love basketball because number one, you get to stay fit and healthy. Number two, you get to hang out with guys like these boys. I've met a lot of friends. Playing basketball.
What makes a great player?
To be a good player in basketball, I think it helps to be tall, but I just think you need to be a really good teammate, and you've got to train really hard at training and do what your coach says. And if you do those things, you'll be a good player.
How do you get pumped up over a game?
To get pumped up for a game, I usually listen to some music, have a coffee, jump around my teammates, get nice and loose, and yeah, get myself ready to go.
Who inspires you?
The people that inspire me on and off the court are my family, especially my parents. They did a lot for me growing up, so to be able to pay them back and work hard for them, that's what inspires me.
My biggest inspiration is probably Gibbo here. Yeah, he's been playing for a while. He's the old guy of the team, but yeah, he gets it done, and he's one of my biggest inspirations.
Does anyone have hidden talents?
Yeah, I got a hidden talent. It's called the eyebrow wave.
Does anyone have a proudest moment?
My proudest moment was when I found out I made the 2012 London Olympic team. So I got to play for my country at the Olympics, so that was mine. Pretty proud moment.
Proudest basketball moment was getting to actually play in the NBL. It's always been a dream of mine to play in the NBL, and to achieve that was really cool. And my first proudest moment is have my daughter this year. So yeah, pretty stoked about that.
Is anyone a big fan of Space Jam?
Jordan, Bugs Bunny, special delivery. Together, they just might save the world. Space Jam.
Yeah, love Space Jam growing up. Obviously, Bugs Bunny did a good job pulling the team together and keeping them together for the big win over the Monstars.
Yeah, the secret stuff is what's kept me going all these years. Really love that.
Have you want to be in Space Jam right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it.
In another episode, the student at the hospital school made their own cartoons. They even did the voices.
My name's Carly and I've got the saucy sausage.
So now we give you Dinner Jam.
Saucy sausage takes a shot! Sausage, come on!
I believe I can fly. I believe.
Do you want to prove your skill to shoot?
Let's do it.
So here's the most important things when you're shooting the ball. So you want to have your knees nice and bent, point your toes towards the rim. That's it, bend your knees. And when you shoot, you want to have your elbow tucked in. You lift as your knees straighten and you come up, you lock your elbow, you snap your wrist. Keep your eyes on the back of the rim, try and shoot over the top. So an alley-oop is when I throw it up, Tori's going to jump up and he's going to catch it and dunk it in. Okay, ready, watch. Alley-oop. Let's see your best one. Throw one up to Tori. Perfect. Good pass.
Thanks so much to Bullets.
Bullets on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bullets! Yeah. Good job, baby. Good job.
want you to be a part of Juice TV. We're always on the lookout for hosts, interviewers, behind-the-scenes helpers and mini-producers. You can be any age, you don't have to have any experience. How much easier could it be? To find out the next time we're filming at the hospital, just head to our website, juicedtv.com.au or our Facebook page. For loads of fun to break up your stay in hospital, join the Juice crew. Send us an email at hello@juicetv.com.au or speak to any of the volunteers wearing green shirts throughout the hospital and let them know you want to be involved in the one and only Juice TV.
Now we have free time. I'm going to tell you how I got my nickname. It was earlier in the year, in the beginning of the semester. I was playing rugby, and there was a grade 12 called Jordan who would give nicknames to people. He saw me run fast to go for the try line, and he's nicknamed me Hot Wheels. And that's been my nickname ever since. Here are my tips if you're going into a hospital. My first tip is to get lots of food. My second tip is to bring some electronics, so like phone, DS, laptop, iPad. My third one is to bring a lot of clothes and bring your own stuff from home. I brought one with me. Also have some board games so you could play with some friends. I brought some with me as well. We're coming up to the last part of the episode. We're going to see some puppet shows. I can't wait!
Hey, g'day, I'm Caleb, and this is my friend Jeffrey. Hello! We're just hanging out. Nothing's going on, really. Nothing at all. Oh, Jeffrey, get that out of your mouth. Oh, there's slobber all over it. How else am I supposed to pick it up? I don't have hands. I wonder what it says. Lost story. If found, return to Bambert. Wonder what that means. Looks like someone needs our help. Yeah, let's go! Excuse me, I found this lost story.
Oh, you might go get me. Hey, Camille. Oh.
My friend Bambert here says it's his story. He's been waiting for it to come back for so long. He's so excited.
Yes, Jeffrey, we found him. High five. Ah, don't have any hands. Joining us are some of the performers from the play, Bambert's Book of Lost Stories. They're visiting Brisbane for their show at QPAC. But the real star is this guy. So guys, what exactly is Bambert's Book of Lost Stories about?
Well, first and foremost, it's about our hero, Bambert. And Bambert is a writer who lives in his attic above a greengrocer named Mr. Bloom. And in his attic, he has a big book of stories that he has written. He's a very, very good writer. It's kind of his way of escaping his attic, and the characters from the stories he writes lives with him in his imagination, in his attic. And so as he's writing them, he realizes that they don't have a setting. So he thinks, I'm going to put them on balloons, I'm going to send them out into the world, and hopefully wherever they land, that place shall be its new setting. And so it's all about Bambert waiting for his stories to return from all over the world.
And then when they eventually do, then he gets to read them and he gets to re-experience them and reimagine them in their new setting, which is pretty exciting.
What exactly got you guys into acting and puppeteering?
Yeah, that's a great question. I started studying something totally different. I was studying law and I got really bored of it and I decided I wanted to do something fun. And so I started looking into ways to get back into acting, which is something I really loved during school. So we've all had different stories, I think, in terms of why we're doing it, but we all love it and we all love working together as well.
I started as an architect and I couldn't stand working in an office. I was bored. I love design, but I hated working in an office. So this is like fun. This is not like work.
Do you have any advice for my friend Jeffrey here?
Well, I would say probably wash once a day so you don't get smelly. Bambert, what about you? Do you have some advice for Jeffrey? Yeah. Did you get that, Jeffrey? Great, cool. I think just use your imagination because anything can be a puppet. Anything at all. If you look around your bedroom, you could find a lampshade or a sock or a pair of trousers or an old dirty dishcloth, and you can turn them into a character.
And if you want to be a writer like Bambert, his advice is that a story can start with a wish. So if you wish for something that you want to happen in the world or want to be in the world, you make that wish and then that wish can become a story. And that's how Bambert does it. That's how he writes all his stories.
Do you have any advice for people that maybe in the future would want to become actors?
I think the important thing about acting is remembering that it's always playing. That's why they call it a play, because you're playing on stage with other people and you're telling amazing stories. And as long as you're always having fun and you're imagining the story as you're telling it, then I think it's a really great way to unify, a room, a theatre, a country. We all kind of can connect through stories.
Notice flowers. Wise men say the truth is whatever you see in the mirror. I say, why have truth in the mirrors when you can have gold?
There's so many avenues for people starting out, amateur theatre companies or workshops or groups to join up and become a part of. And once you sort of start making friends in those circles, it's just something that becomes such a joy to be a part of. You might find you really enjoy performing, you might find you really enjoy designing lights, you might find you like directing or writing.
Or making sound effects.
Yeah.
So I've been working on some moves with Jeffrey.
Oh yeah, great.
The snake. And
cool.
The yawn.
They're really good moves.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Do you have any moves?
Oh, any moves for I guess the snake as well, and the yawn. Yeah, so they're the classic puppet moves.
Yeah.
So you're doing well there. I think something that's really important to remember with puppetry to bring it to life is there's often three things. The eye line, so where they're looking. So if Bambert's looking at the microphone or looking at you or looking at this or looking down, it really helps the audience understand what he's thinking because they can see what he's looking at the camera, looking at you, looking at the mic. So there's that, a sense of breath, and also a sense of being grounded, like a sense of weight when he's on the ground. So they're three of the most important things to keep in mind when you're puppeteering. Where do you think his eyes are of Jeffrey? Oh yeah, cool. So you have him look at Bambert. Great. Now look at the camera. Great. Now back to Bambert. Great. Really good.
Thanks. What's your favourite part of being in the show Bambert Lost Stories?
Well, I just love hearing the audience react and respond. It gives me, a great sense of joy to know that I'm giving the audience a fun or emotional experience.
It is really beautiful feeling the reactions of particularly kids in the crowd when they're screaming with happiness, or then there's lightning happening and they're freaking out. It's really, really cool.
I just love the story. When I read the story the first time, I was really moved. I cried. And I really love the story and the power that it has to explore really big ideas in really simple and beautiful ways.
I love getting to play so many different characters in the show. It's a lot of fun. I think I play something like 8 or 9. I play the 3 princes and a whole bunch of other ones, and it keeps your brain alive.
I love sharing the story with the audience and getting them excited about it. That's what I love.
I'd like to thank the cast of Bambert's Book of Lost Stories. Thanks for hanging out with us. High five. Nailed it.
Here we are at the end of the show, but before we leave, I wanted to show you something. my little Doom Marine. I got him for my brother for Christmas, and he wanted to trade this and some orange juice. So I give him orange juice for this. And he said, why not? Because I was not a big fan of orange juice.
Oh.
I see everything. Now you can go away now. Speaking about going, I'm out of here. Peace. My...
And we're at LCCH doing some bird swap.
Wait, what was the question?
Mum at the hospital doing bird swapping.
Yes, but...
I can't tell.
And we're at LCCH doing some bird spotting.
Here's our final story, and an old man's gonna do the Muppets.
Dave and my name is Gia.
And I'm Bella.
Thanks. I'll be the dinosaur.
Speaking about going away, I'm going. Yeah.
Remember guys, it's so easy to be a part of Juice TV. Whether you want to be a host, help us out behind the scenes with filming, or decide what goes into each episode. Let us know you want to be involved by sending an email to hello@juicetv.com.au or speak to one of the friendly volunteers throughout the hospital in the green shirts. Also head to our website and Facebook page for all the updates about what we're filming at the hospital.